Good evening, gentlemen. This is Sir Yeetus. Welcome to episode 112 of Sir Yeetus' Thoughts. Right now, the topic today I want to address because I put out a meme, I think it was yesterday, that a lot of people disagree with me about uncontrolled hypergamy. But on my stance, personally, uncontrolled hypergamy is what's in all this nonsense in the West in the first place. When I say uncontrolled hypergamy, I mean by literally a woman is able to go and hop on to the next boat or hop on to the next ride if she deems that it is better than her previous ride. And then what my quote says at the end of the day, uncontrolled hypergamy will lead to a life of promiscuity and loneliness. I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong on that one because you can tell plenty of middle-aged or older women that was all about feminism when they were younger. Now they realize their mistake. I know there's women out there that middle-aged or older that doesn't really want to admit that they're wrong, but they're wrong big time because now they have the next 40 years, depending how long they live, is a very lonely existence. Because let's keep it real. If a woman is over 35, have no kids, no husband, no fiance or whatever, and the older she gets, the less likely she's able to have kids in the first place. What use is she when it comes to an average man? she has no use whatsoever. None. So she's going to use that cope to say, hey, even though I'm older, I'm able to get these young 18, 20, 22-year-old men. Okay. They, they still want me. Okay. Even though you men that are in your 30s or 40s that are well established within your life, financially, physically, or emotionally, it doesn't matter because I have all these young men chasing after me. So here's the thing. I remember when I was 18 and 22 years old, testosterone is raging like crazy around that time. Okay. A man is willing to fuck pretty much almost anything that has an axe wound. Okay. I'm talking about women. I ain't talking about anything else. But they're willing to fuck any woman that has an axe wound around that time. Most women, not all women, most women, because the testosterone within their bodies is literally out of control around that age, 18 to 22. Yeah, no shit. You're able to get men that are able to sleep with you. But the real question is, are you able to keep these men? Of course not. Of course not. Because the fact that you're advertising yourself as something that's so easy, something that is so readily available, what man would not say no? Like, come on. Come on. Besides, people in the world being like us, what man will say no to free puniti? That, yeah, I see that you are delaying the wall, right? That you're in your mid to late 30s or 40s and you still look good for your age. Yeah, I know there's women out there that exist where they literally are able to defy the wall, but the wall comes regardless. When it comes to your age, see, when it comes to that situation, that's why a lot of women they lie about their age, they lie about their weight, they lie about how many guys that they sleep with. As as crazy as it seems, that's why a lot of men they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go with that girl because she claims that she's a prize, but if she's in her late 30s or older, there's no like, how can you claim that you're a prize but you're still single in your late 30s? And on top of that, as a woman, how can you claim that you're a prize in your late 30s? That you have no man with you in sight. We're gonna get to that very soon, but I'm gonna add somebody, and I'm sure you guys already know who I'm about to add. The one, the only Gray. What's going on, man?
Good evening, Warband.
Good evening. What's going on? How's life?
Ups and downs. I'm actually just fiddling around with Photoshop right now, trying to get the pen pressure working.
I definitely see where you're going through, man, when it comes to the ups and downs. Um, but Photoshop, what are you trying to Photoshop?
I just figured I'd sketch something. I had an idea earlier and just want to hash it out.
See, here's the issue with the topic today when it comes to, unchecked hypergamy. What is your opinion on that? Because I have a lot to say about this one. What do you have to say about that?
Well, the big thing is that they don't really seem to have an end goal. And they've also got a very strange idea of value. That's understandable to a certain extent, like where they get this hyperinflated sense. But then when you tell them, look, the older you get, the less options you're going to have. So yeah, while you may be able to sample more as you go, as you keep going, and more opportunities will come across your way, the quality of those opportunities is going to drop off. And you'd be far better off taking one of the seemingly lower opportunities early in life rather than continuously going. It's like you win a modest jackpot at the slot machine, but then you think, well, maybe I could get an even higher one. And so you spend all your original winnings plus sell everything you own chasing a bigger jackpot, when if you'd cashed out earlier, you would be walking away with more. But they all think they're going to win the top prize.
See, when it comes to that, right, I'm sure you already heard the analogy of between a man and a woman going to a store or a mall and saying, hey, this person has this, and that, and all that stuff. Do you want this person or no? And let's say a man walks into a mall and say, hey, this woman has 80% of what you want in a woman. Would you, you agree yourself, would you agree to that? If she has 80% of what you want?
Yeah. Like again, like there's not a huge number of things that I'd say are deal breakers. I mean, like she could be like 8 out of 10 on all my things, but if that 20% is she's a horrid, manipulative, conniving bitch, okay, that's a bit of a deal breaker. And I think, I'll take the 70% so long as conniving bitch is not in the 30%.
But it's crazy how if a woman's in the same position, she won't even accept 95% of what she wants. But hey, this man has 95% of what you want in a man. Would you accept it? A woman would definitely say no in a heartbeat.
Now, to be fair,
I
wonder
in general, not like all.
Okay, no. But I wonder how much of it is they know that they don't deserve it, and so they're sabotaging themselves. It's like you can't fire me, I quit. It's like you can't reject me because you're better than me. I reject you, and therefore I take the dominant position.
Okay, so we're gonna go on that psychology realm. All right, we can go there.
I think it's a possible factor. Like there can absolutely be some that genuinely are that deluded. Right. But when you see like these women that are 4 out of 10 at best, swiping on 8 out of 10s and 9s out of 10s, and they're swiping left on them, it's like you just want the validation. You don't want to swipe right on someone and not see the it's a match thing pop up.
I definitely agree on that one. Okay, great. I see what you're saying when it comes to that. They, how do I say? How can I say it? They definitely believe that they don't deserve that nice guy or that guy that holds everything down. So in the end, they definitely say, hey, I'm just looking for that bad boy, that guy that's not doing much, because how else is she going to feel important?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, at this point, it's always a question of how far can we realistically get into their heads here to understand the emotions that they're feeling, because they aren't making long-term logical stuff. They're making a lot of short-term impulsiveness.
Right. I'm about to add a couple people in a bit, Gray, if you're cool with that.
Oh yeah.
But it's not going to be as big as yesterday. Yesterday was a discombobulation type situation. That was a, don't get me wrong, it was a great stream yesterday, but it was like out of control. Like I forgot who it was, but some dude cut me off on my own live stream. I was like, what? But I'm gonna add people right now. Okay, I'm at Carry On. Carry On, what's going on?
I'm fine.
And also I'm gonna add, hey yo, what's going on?
Hi. I tried to get in yesterday, but it wasn't letting me. Or like my Wi-Fi was bad.
Chick? Oh my god, I need to go outside and touch grass. But I know you tried to join yesterday. I did try to add you yesterday, but you just weren't at the computer, I guess.
Yeah. Well, my Wi-Fi was really bad, so I was just on and off, and I was also revising for my final exams. But yeah, I had a lot of things to say yesterday about Black Pill. But it's fine.
That is true. But the fact that you're here, you know what's going to happen, right? You see the chat right now? You see it? Look at that.
Let me see. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, a human female. Yeah, I can see. But yeah. Oh my god.
She's a chameleon.
I have green skin.
You guys have skin?
Sorry?
Modern women? Not really. They just have nothing but lies.
Yeah.
She just agrees. Okay.
Lord. Blimey.
So when it comes to the current conversation of unchecked hypergamy will lead to a life of promiscuity and loneliness. We'll go with Carry On, then we will go with Ayo. Carry On. What is your perspective on that?
Well, reason why I believe people are just like hypergamy. The idea of hypergamy is that you want to have generally the best person you can have in your environment or your means. So yeah, that makes sense. Guys want probably the best woman they could have for many reasons. So do women. That's generally not a bad thing. But there's a point where people have a good thing already, but they try to push for more. It's like when I have a stable kingdom I have right now, but I want to push further and go for the skies. And they do that. Some people get lucky. I'm not going to lie. Some people do get lucky with this, monkey branching and shit like that. But majority of people will fail. That's just how shit happens. Not everyone can hit the target. And that's just going to happen. After a period of time, people keep on doing. So, of course, they saw one person do, like a famous person or a family member, like, oh, well, I had this person. It wasn't going that well. I saw someone else, so I moved to and jumped ahead. Yeah, that's going to happen. People are going to see that. But I saw that person do it. I saw this person do it. So maybe I can do it because they look just like me, but they're not exactly you. That's what people don't get through their heads generally. They see someone else do it, like, oh, why can they do it and why can't I do it?
Okay, Carry On. I see what you're saying. But let's see what Ayo has to say to the topic, or if she wants to respond to you. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I have a lot of things to say about hypergamy. First of all, I think hypergamy comes from class. For example, because a lot of girls that chase this materialistic lifestyle seem to always come from lower class backgrounds. And this isn't me, putting the finger and blaming them. And it's because they're conditioned to chase this. They look on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever it is, and they see like, oh, look at this girl with a Louis Vuitton bag, and they chase this lifestyle, and it's because their parents haven't really put boundaries. And I think a lot of hypergamy, I think the problem is that a lot of the girls that are hypergamous, like, it comes from basically their class, but it is also somewhat of an inherent thing, because if it was a girl that was from like a rich family, I don't think she would be hypergamous per se. But I think a lot of women that are hypergamous come from that background. And like Carry On said, that it can be because some of them do hit targets. There are some girls that
wait, hold up. I gotta stop you right there.
Yeah.
All women are hypergamous. All of them.
Yeah.
Do
Well,
you
Even the rich
do you believe
ones.
even women that are really wealthy, that come from wealthy
I'll-
families, are
I'll-
also
Yes,
monogamous?
she will
I can address-
always
I'll-
take the best possible deal she can get when it comes to a man. All women.
Okay. Well, I can address there's two reasons why you wouldn't see it quite as much in the wealthier class. Number one, there's fewer of them, so there will, by definition, be fewer upper class people doing anything.
I think it's because
there's
with
there's
so
a couple
sorry.
more.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Number two, the more of a wealthy family it is, the less likely it is to be a single mother household, and the more likely you are to have a stable, somewhat healthy relationship with the parents.
Yep, and also some girls that are from wealthier families, they go through arranged marriages as well. I think their marriages are already arranged by the parents, so they're pretty
Yeah.
much well off. It depends from what country. Like, for example, wealthy girls in Dubai and in the Middle East, they have their marriages arranged, and I think it's because of Islam, but that's a completely entirely different thing. But
Yeah.
I understand what you mean in terms of genetically, like women look for the best
Speaking
deal.
of Islam, is Islam right about women?
Well, I have read a bit of the Quran, and I have looked at some of the things that I think the Quran is a bit slightly generous with females. So
But are they
a lot of
right?
it, because in the Bible it's more like the women kind of have to just strictly obey it, and they basically don't have anything. I know in Islam the woman
But
gets
you're avoiding the question. Is Islam right
God!
about women?
Not fully, but I guess as a meme, yeah.
Not
So
fully.
no,
Well, I guess the reason why, like I said, some people say it wouldn't be completely is because at the time when Islam was created, we didn't have people connecting to the whole global sphere of the planet. A woman from France couldn't talk to a guy in America. They didn't even know what America was at the time. So it wasn't possible to see the complete
yeah.
unchaining of a woman's hypergamy. I feel like the more
I think
freedom we have gained in certain aspects, we have technically lost. It's like everyone is an animal. I'm going to go back to this, even though people get upset when I said this last time. Everyone's an animal deep down, and society tries to chain them to become a human. But it sounds rude. But if you see children that haven't been raised by humans, you would realize that humans and animals aren't that different. It's in the early ages of their life that they become humans. Because children are extremely brutal. It's just that you find it cute at the time. If a child was bigger, you see they'll rip off people's arms and eat. I'm gonna say, and children eat bugs the same way how bugs eat bugs.
What the fuck? I never eat bugs.
I don't really get this analogy that you're saying.
Bugs, bugs are extremely brutal how they kill. They just eat them. They eat other, like, have you seen how a praying mantis?
Bug, but yeah.
Most bugs eat creatures alive. Oh, she disappeared.
Oh,
but
she's gone. All right.
I think it's the internet. But yeah,
she'll come back.
People are trained by society to have certain behaviors that are beneficial to the group. Let's say that.
Right.
And
but
like hypergamy,
I wouldn't mind eating bugs. Shit. What did you say?
But hypergamy is it's not generally bad. You don't want your daughter generally marrying a hobo or something like that.
Yeah.
But when it's untrained and there's no one to guide that hypergamy, like there's, let's say, soldiers, if there's like a crazy guy that's extremely dangerous, you want him to be on your side because he has the power and he's extremely strong, but you want to aim him in the right direction, like a missile. That's what most society is. It's like aiming human nature in the most beneficial direction.
Sorry, I wanted to say something about what you said about the hypergamy.
What's
I understand. Sorry, it just disconnected me. I'm on my phone. I'm so sorry. But yeah, about the hypergamy, I wanted to say that the unchecked hypergamy could come from fatherly issues. That's why a lot of these girls, because they don't have a father figure or any sort of masculine figure in their life, that they they get brainwashed by the school system, they get brainwashed by social media, and they believe in this nonsensical nonsense that there's always going to be Prince Charming, until they're 50, 60. It's ridiculous. And that hypergamy, because it's unchecked, as Carrion said, that, but I think it comes from them not having a masculine figure, or even I don't even think women make good single mothers, and that's also a problem. So single motherhood, that type of thing, can impact a daughter. That's why it's like difficult.
When it comes to what you just say now, are you sure it's just not having a masculine figure, or
I think it's more than that.
Is social media the problem?
I think feminism is the problem. It should have never happened. That's what I think.
Feminism is obviously the problem, but social media is definitely the things that change the dynamics of dating forever.
Well, social media is basically a dating app for women. That's all it is. It's just a dating app. And
also because they got so many options, not just within her town, but around the world.
That's true. Yep.
So, I think based on that situation, that she has countless options throughout the world, she is way more picky, way more secluded on who she decides to deal with. And that's why her delusional standards are so high in the first place. Even the average woman.
Yep. Like a girl that, could be even obese, could get matches and whatever. And it's just because like this feminist kind of centric dystopia has, brainwashed these girls to think, oh, I could be 600 pounds and I'll still get this like best man who makes 6 figures a year. But really, they're not in reality. And that's the problem. The problem is that, these school systems, etc. Like, I think, the people should really get their daughters and sons out of schools and, if possible, live in a small town or countryside and make their own school where they can educate their children, set up their own communities instead of being part of the current communities now, because it's not working out for anybody. It's not doing, anyone favors. So
it's doing people favors.
So I don't know where you're from. You sound like
I'm from the UK, so
yeah, you're on Europe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so have you noticed how men, and they're not able to get a secure relationship within their own country, they decide to travel elsewhere, and women get mad about that for some reason, about men
yes,
going elsewhere, even though they did not even want to deal with these men in the first place. They're like, oh yeah, I think you're creepy and a piece of shit, but how dare you go overseas to try to find a wife?
I've noticed that a lot of white women get very upset when a white man has got like a Japanese girl. Like nowadays, I'm seeing lots of white men in Britain that are just wifing Indian, just like all sorts of women, Asian, Indian, whatever it is, and they're just bringing them over or whatever, and it's like I've noticed that.
What, you heard about Sweden or Denmark?
Yes, I have. I saw a meme about it, but it's real.
Where they were getting so pissed off that they're trying to make laws to prevent men bringing foreign women over here into those countries. It is asinine how women will say, hey, yeah, we will never even give you any type of sugar in a million years. But how dare you go somewhere else to get any type of sugar and bring them back over here to our country? I'm like, what? What the fuck you want them to do?
There is something about women from overseas, because I have a lot of friends that are Singaporean, Korean, Japanese, and really they're more spoiled than people in the West. I mean, in my experience, like I knew a lot of Korean girls and the way they were, they seem feminine all like that in the offset, with the way they were. Like, they would talk really badly about white men, and they would tell me like awful stories about like, you know, how they would like trick guys. Like, one girl that's here in Britain right now that I know, she's basically trying to get citizenship from a British man. She's trying to use him for citizenship because she's on a work visa, and she's telling me all the scummy things. And yeah, so that stuff
But
does
you see
happen.
why
That's
these
something I
men are
want to.
still. But hold up, do you see why these men are still willing to take that risk? Besides
Yeah.
dealing with women in their home country that don't even want them in the first place?
I think the men need to be careful with what women they bring over, and more importantly, with the ones that are on work visas and things.
Wait, hold up. Okay,
Shouldn't
wait.
even bring
So they need to be careful with when they bring over. Yet their own women within their own country and their own neighborhood degrade and demean these same men
Yeah.
in the worst possible ways, but at the same time, you're not the first one to say this. There's plenty of women that say that, oh, they need to be careful on who they bring. I'm like, okay, so they need to be very.
But I understand why they're bringing them. I understand why they would prefer that. Yeah, I understand it, because women from Asian countries are more submissive, feminine, and that's what men want. So
I have to disagree there. They're not feminine. They're just good at tricking dumbasses. That's what it is. And most people like, oh, she's so nice. She's gonna stab you in the back if you fuck her over.
Because I'm gonna keep it real.
That's what I was saying. It depends.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna keep it real. Do you know how many women I got after I got out of that simp phase, that blue pill phase, and I started treating women like shit?
Probably.
It is so fucking weird and asinine that the fact that I had to a goddamn demon, like I was on demon time for years, and I had more puniti in my entire life for 4 or 5 years when I treated women like shit.
That's really, you know, sad that a lot of girls are, you know, willing to just they like, that's the thing I've noticed. And I went to a girls' school, and you know, that really changed my experience with a lot of female friends that I tried to make. And I realized that, you know, it was really hard for me with other girls myself, because I've noticed that a lot of girls try to sabotage other women that want to do better, that are actually trying to, especially like relationships, things like that. That's why I would never ask a woman for advice. I'd go to a man, because men are more honest than women, and I'm just being real about that. But I understand, like, lots of girls are like, I want a guy that treats me well and whatever, but they really don't. And it's just because, like, I don't know why, to be honest. It's probably because they're used to being treated badly. Like, a lot of girls are like, oh, this guy abused me. But it's like that word abuse is thrown.
Used to, or they're more attracted to?
Well, I guess more attracted to, because of high body count or whatever. I mean, I have no experience in this, but, you know, from the girls that I used to know, like, they used to always just screw their relationships or whatever, and I just wouldn't associate with that. Tell them, I don't want to be your friend. The last female friend I had, she screwed over her boyfriend, but her boyfriend forgave her, which I didn't understand. But it's really sad, actually, that, you know, things are not like genuine anymore as they once were. Like, I kind of wish I lived in a time where I could just find a man and he would be there forever. But unfortunately, like, you know, women that want to be traditional, that want a marriage, that want something, you know, lasting, etc., that they can't find that. And the men that do want that, they just don't stay in the UK. They'll go abroad or whatever. But I don't think I don't know if there are British men that are traditional, to be honest. I've not met any, so I can't really comment about here, but I know in America.
Before Carry On responds, because I know he wants to respond. I've been hearing it.
Okay.
I'm a respond to this. Waifu Robot Revolution. Thank you for the generous $10 donation. You have good indicators of a guy is trash. We only have your lies. You rarely hit men, and if you do, you're gone, unlike how you treat those dudes that hit you and turn you on. I do not get that sentence. Does anybody get that sentence?
I kind of. It's not clear. I understand where he's trying to go, but it's not clear.
I'm reading it now.
I'm kind of trying to.
You really hit men, and if you do, you're gone. Unlike how you treat those dudes that. Yeah, I kind of get this a bit. I think it means basically girls that have daddy issues, and they're just used to being treated badly, and that's what happens, unfortunately. Someone asked
carry
men
on.
and women be friends. Wow.
Yeah. Carry on. You respond that we're going to be addressing this question. Carry on. What do you have to say about what Ayo has to say?
What was it again? Yeah. Reason I believe that.
Men, right? It's about British men. British.
Oh, I don't really give a fuck about those guys. I'm gonna be honest. I don't believe
that's what she said.
Yeah. There's other stuff before that too.
No,
like what
I
she said.
said I'm not sure. I've not met any traditional men in the UK. That's what I'm saying. I've not met any. If I do, then yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm traditional in any sense of the word. I'm not fucking around like crazy people. I just keep to myself. But what she was talking about, like saying people in the past and how life was different, it really wasn't. It was just on a large scale. People were still having affairs. I'm gonna be honest. Your grandparents probably aren't even the children of your great-grandparent. Like your great-grandfather and your grandfather, they're probably not even like related on genetic level. Like if you go do DNA tests on majority of the people in the past, we would not be surprised if we found out a third of them were bastards.
I need to look into that because I can't really give a comment. But I feel like maybe in the past, because there were a lot more laws to prevent things, like for example, you couldn't cheat on your husband. I know during the Victorian times in Britain, things like that before the Industrial Revolution, women were much more kept to, in the workhouses if they were poor, or, they were married off very young, that type of thing. And Christianity was pretty prevalent during that time, and it kind of controlled the society. But I understand what you mean. There could have been affairs that we may not know about, because it's kind of like drugs, you can't do them, but there are people that still do them secretly. So there's not going to be many statistics on that are going to be, reliable.
Okay.
So,
hey, yo, quick question. Oh, how do you feel when I say women only submit to... Oh, he's gone. All right, cool. Women only submit to power. How do you feel about that?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I agree.
You're female, right? Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
Okay. I was about to say, like, oh shit.
No. I agree mostly with what's happening here. So yeah.
So that's why a lot of women, they gravitate towards those bad guys and those inmates and those convicts, because the nice guys or the good guys don't exhibit any form of power, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. So guys that are too, for example, simpy, not simpy as in like, just like really, let the girl walk all over, etc. Like women like masculinity. But if they have fatherly issues, it's kind of too far with what they want. But, women like to be in a place where, realistically, most women don't want to work, and there are statistics to prove that they're happier with children, they're happier married off, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, and I just noticed that, when me growing up, with the parents and society say, oh, you need children like this and children like that, you need children like queens and blah blah blah. But when I did the exact opposite, I got a lot more response. I'm like, something ain't right, because when I treat women like they're not a priority, they're the ones that comes back into my life and give the response that I want. I'm like, okay. So I was told to not treat them like shit and not treat them like or clearly disrespect these women. But when I on my blue pill, my scent venture, they were repulsed by me. But when I switched to the opposite side, especially when I discovered the red pill, they definitely gave me way more response. Now, want to give an explanation why, if you know, or
Yeah, I understand because it's because of this toxic feminist society that has been created. If feminism just wasn't there, and men were, I guess, more in control, because what's happening now is there's this I don't know if you've seen the memes of oh, the future is female and all that other crap. Look at the UK, it's
also
just
before you continue,
Mhm.
I wasn't like treating them like complete shit. Okay, that's not what I do.
Yeetus was dragging them
Okay,
across the floor like Johnny Depp. He was
I,
a full-on Johnny Depp.
yeah,
man.
yeah. Like I
Oh
try
my
to.
God. I don't even know about
No,
Johnny
no, no.
Depp.
Like I wasn't treating women like complete shit, but once I stopped treating women like as my top priority, if you get what I'm saying, they had a complete different response.
Yeah, that's because women are more attracted to someone that's a man that's more independent minded. So like for example, a guy who buys Belle Delphine's OnlyFans. I know someone that did that in real life. How awful. That man is not respected. To be honest, by the girls. Like they'll just be like, oh, maybe he'll buy my nudes, or maybe he'll buy something of me. And because more and more and more, a lot of girls, like for example, when they turn 18, they'll open up an OnlyFans or whatever. Like it all comes from the fact that they think they'll get money, but they realistically want a man that, will put them in submission. They may say, oh, I hate men and whatever, but as soon as, one of their friends has a boyfriend, they'll try and steal him or they'll try and break them up. It's just really messed up, actually. But that,
Okay.
stuff happens. So.
Okay. Gray. I know
Yep.
you've been quiet for a minute. You've just been vibing. Do you have any response on what we were talking about?
Well, I think it's far simpler because it's not just that women despise simps. Like a man can be the toughest, hardest, no nonsense bullshitter. Like fucking outright abusive.
Woman.
The man can be abusive, and the woman's all over him. She can bug him for years to change, and he'll refuse to change, and she loves it. But then, if she asks him to change one thing, and he's like, you know what? I can compromise on this. I'll change for this. Then she's not attracted. It's not that he simps. It's not these fucking weak-ass OnlyFans buying dudes. Any man that complies with her wishes becomes less attractive in her eyes.
Yeah, I
gotta stop you,
really
Gray.
get where that
Wait, hold up,
comes
Ayo.
from.
Hold up.
Sorry.
Rishi, no, it's all good. Rishi, a woman? Yes, it is a woman that currently in the chat right now.
Oh
and
my
I'm gonna
God.
say
Nah,
this
bro.
to
It's not
any-
a woman. It's a guy doing a voice changing thing, bro.
Yeah, I'm a
Ugh.
femboy.
Yeah, man. It happens a lot in England.
But in all seriousness, we don't hate women around these parts. Okay, the Warband does not hate women, and if you do, you're in the wrong fucking group. Okay, we are just here to call out the bullshit that they do. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, when in my channel, Ribby's channel, or Chronic's channel, or Riker the Biker's channel, where do we say we we're clearly in the blueprint. When do we say that we hate women? None.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think you guys hate women. I watched a lot of what's his name, Ribby and Undead Chronic, and they seem to be on my side because I believe in saving yourself till marriage and that type of thing.
That's it. See, here's two things that we have to address right now. It's one thing that you just want to fuck around. If you just want to fuck around and fuck a bunch of bitches, that's one thing. But if you're looking for a woman for long term, what's our motto, chat? No hymen, no diamond. Okay, what do you have to say, Ayo?
I agree with that. That's how I want to, like, I hope one day if I have a daughter, I can, raise her that way. And hopefully I support arranged marriages for these, like, for my children, like for my daughters, if I have a daughter. So that's my belief. People get really upset at me. A lot of girls are like, why would you do that? You should let your daughter find love. I'm like, she can find love with the men that me and my husband choose for her. So for me, I'm very traditional in that sense. Like, I support arranged marriages for daughters, and I support
because in my opinion, right, women are not good at all, in my opinion, when it comes to choosing a good partner. And I'm sure you, AO, yourself, you've seen it plenty of times where women, instead of choosing a man that's willing to protect, provide, and being able to be a good husband and father for their family, they gotta choose a guy that don't give a fuck about them. They treat them like shit, and things can go even worse in the future.
That's why, I'm very, I get called sexist and all that, and a lot of the women that I had in my life don't want to be in my life anymore because of my opinions. One actually threatened the police on me recently because she was like, "Oh, you're too misogynistic," and I'm just like, "You're gonna get me done for hate crime? That's ridiculous."
Wait. How you just gonna skim? How you just gonna talk about that like it's no big deal? You had the police call on you?
No. She wanted to because she got very offended.
Oh, she wanted to. I thought you had the police call on you. I was like, what the
fuck? No. I wouldn't be here speaking to you guys. I would be locked up. No. So I said like something about, saving your virginity, and I said women that don't save their virginities are, that they're not going to have a worthwhile life and they're not going to be married. She's like, oh, but you can be a sugar baby and all this stuff. It's like, oh my god. And then I told her that, like, you should save. She's like, where are you from? The 1800s. We're living in 2022 and you're in the UK. And I'm just like, oh my god. So she got really offended by me. I said some stuff about like men that were high value, and she got really offended. She wanted to call the police. You've offended me. And I was just like, oh my god. I just blocked her. I was like, I'm not going to deal with this. I've dealt with enough women, like girls crying to me about a fuckboy. It's too much. I can't do it anymore. I'd rather have a traditional female friend. But yeah.
Wait, there's traditional female friends? Even okay.
No, I don't have any. I want some. It's hard. Someone said something like, "Oh, British people are terrible." They are.
Whoa. Don't compare me with the basic trash that you hang around with.
All right, I missed it. Hey, what I miss?
Someone said something. They called the police over that. What the hell is wrong with you British people? We've lost the country. The future is female in the UK.
I'm gonna say it.
They're ruthless.
I'm gonna blame you. Yeah,
they'll run in with the batons, like in the name of the Queen. You're like, what the fuck? And then you just get beat.
They don't really say that. It's just more like, you're getting arrested.
Yeah, you're lying. You just try and protect the.
Okay, what? No, it's not. I've been in handcuffs before. It's not that hard to. Yeah, I know.
In the name of the Queen, you're like, what the fuck? And then they just like beat the fuck out of you. Like what?
Yeah, it was a riot police.
I don't know. In
I
the name
think,
of Elizabeth, what the fuck? Like,
Hey,
well,
Elizabeth.
only the old people in the UK care about the royal family. I certainly don't. But a lot of people that support the monarchy are old. But a lot of the young people are terrible in the UK. A lot of people my age, for example, care about drinking.
well, you guys
partying.
got like sword fights in the UK, right? Because you guys can't
We're
even carry
fighting with
guns.
butter knives here.
Okay,
I'm just saying,
she's
I'm
from
keeping it
she's
real.
posh. She's posh. She ain't from like where are you from? Because the way you speaking, like I know you're not from where I come from. Where I come from, we don't use butter knives. We use full on swords
All
and
right,
machetes.
Ayo,
But
if you're able to
Oh.
reveal,
just say the
where are you from? If you have to
city. Just say
reveal.
the city.
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm just going to
Oh,
say
well, at
Just say
least what
north,
region?
south, east.
I'm a southerner.
Southern London, Southern.
I'm further down.
She okay, yeah.
My geography is like way off. So
No,
I
I
I'm
understand
very
it.
down. I'm just
She's
not
like-
gonna say where.
If you say
she,
south, I think about Egypt and shit. So
no. South, like okay. London is like how to say it? It's south east, but it's not like the furthest southeast as possible. But it wouldn't be like the extreme south. But yeah, she's from a much more reasonable place than I am from. I'm from London, so that explains like she talking about butter knives and all that stuff. Like what she has, like the horrible stuff in England, is like where I live. So
I've heard
oh, okay.
bad
So
things
I see what
about
you're saying, bro.
London. The girls getting raped and the refugees and
that's up
whatever.
north. That's up north.
the grooming gangs and the.
Oh yeah, we have human gangs on that shit.
Hey,
But everyone has
Rishi,
that.
quit being a bitch boy and just fucking join. Goddamn. Like I love how I can't have a conversation with a female until I'm coming over.
I'm
Like,
just
oh
reading
my
this
god,
chat.
oh,
It's
you get serious.
unbelievable.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, but
All right.
I believe the reason
That's
why
why I
certain
don't
women
like
are
fucking mushrooms. Yeah,
yeah,
you heard me.
the reason
I
why
don't give a fuck.
gonna go with the mushroom shit. Well, I'm pissed about
Yeah,
Rishi.
I'm
He
gonna
was
go
talking
with the
shit about
mushroom
me
shit.
before I left. Before I left, Rishi started talking shit. As soon as I left, so I'm kind of on Yeetus' side.
But hey, I'm gonna add a couple more people.
Yeah.
What's going on? Dax the dog, what's going on, man?
Pooniti, my brothers.
Pooniti.
And then I'm gonna add Angler MGTOW. What's going on, man?
Hey, gentlemen. Now, Miss, is it AU or IU?
Hey yo.
AO? Okay.
Yes, that's my
All right.
name. I can't
Thank
stay for very long. I've got a few minutes. I should be in bed, but
Okay. Well, before
I'm
you
here
go,
for the
I'd like
stream.
to pick your brain. So,
I'm sorry.
All
It's
right, what's
late
up,
where
Angler?
I am.
What's up? Angler, what do you have to say?
I've been listening to this for a while, and I think one thing that really concerns me that AU is that you kind of generalized, that women with bad behavior have daddy issues, and I think it's a whole lot more complex than that. If you're willing, can you maybe explain, your thoughts on, like what social media does, how the laws affect women's behaviors and things like that?
I think that mostly a lot of the problems with women come from not just daddy issues, but environmental issues, school. It depends where you put them. That's why it's important if you have a daughter to homeschool her, to raise her somewhere with, more fresh air, clean food, guidance, and a masculine father figure. Those are very, very important things. And also a mother as well in the picture. I think that, women are more easily influenced. They're easier to, I guess, manipulate, and they're very fragile compared to, especially like a young girl, because their minds especially have not been developed. So there's all sorts of things that can play. I can't really specifically say if a girl, I don't know, likes to be abused or whatever, has just daddy issues. There could be so many things that have happened to her, and it's because of the way Western society is shaped. it's more like for the woman and to believe her word and to, don't look at evidence, don't do any of that. And I think it comes from so many factors. That's why, I believe in, having an environment, living with people that are more like-minded to you. Don't live in a leftist area. Don't raise your daughters somewhere that are, filled with leftists. Don't put her in a public school. Don't, put her, don't raise her in a city. Don't, check on her, that type of thing. And because these women that are turning out like this, it's just, it's more than that. I think it's more than father relations, but that is one of the main factors I would call out for in a girl. I'd always ask her, like, how was your relationship with your dad? And most girls will always answer, I didn't have a dad, I was raised with a stepdad. There's all sorts of things, but it's always they didn't have that masculine figure. It's very important in a woman's life to have that. And if she doesn't, it's very hard for her. Very few women can,
So from your explanation, now I think, going right at the dad, I think that's an easy way to blame men in general. But would you also
not blaming
no,
men.
Hold on. Would you also agree that there is that women are a protected class from the things that you said to us?
Yeah, I think I think in Western society, women are protected. I think, they have more rights than a man, just like minorities, they have more rights. So like if you're like a straight white male, it's such a bad, evil thing. But yeah, women are protected, even if no matter what woman it is, she could be obese, she could be skinny, she'll be protected. But I don't think it lasts forever, especially with like men. There is, the wall, and there's all these other factors that can happen. Like,
sure. And would you also agree that these things that are in place, these policies, these laws, women be a protected class, would you agree that it's causing a lot of damage on Western society?
The laws causing damage, or what did you say? Sorry.
With women being a protected class and the laws that are in place, would you agree that that is causing a lot of damage on Western society?
Yes, I think, because these laws come from feminism, I think feminism has damaged the fabric of what, society used to be. There are girls now at 30 plus, like, I want a husband and kids, but you're supposed to get married young. Marriage has such a significant history to it. It's not just something that you say your vows and that's it. But I've noticed now that marriage is like a symbol. It's like women have this thing in their head where they're like, I need to tick all the boxes. I always say this, and it always offends people. Women have a thing where they want to tick all the boxes. Must have a boyfriend, must get married, must have a girl best friend, must have this, must have a dog. It's a mental thing in a lot of girls' head. And
sure.
it's because a lot of girls want to get value. And
Ayo. There's a lot more people that want to join at the moment. What do you have to say to the Warband?
Well, I agree with the message. No hymen, no diamond. And yeah, I agree mostly with it. Just some things like pump and dump is not something I support. Some of the things that was said, but everything else is fine. Yeah, I would say.
Pump and dump hoes, man.
All right, it's all good. Hey,
No.
Thank you for joining. All right, because any input is good input, and I will definitely will talk about these type of situations in the future. And I'm not a big fan of just taking one side of the situation and not talk to the other side. So thank you, Ayo, and I'll definitely talk to you later.
All right, thank you so much for having me, and bye everyone.
Goodbye.
No problem. Peace out.
So, Angler, I have something to say that I disagree with you on. I'm going to blame men. It is men's fault why women are so shit right now.
You got to kick off your new wife.
We're getting deep now. On. Okay, carry on. My ears are wide open, bro.
So let's say this. If I ruled let's say most men at a period of time control their family, and since they control their family, they control the society as a whole. Let's say there was a few rogue women. If men didn't listen to them or cared about them, they couldn't really affect society. And you could say the men in power force people to do it, but like no, because still then men had the majority of the vote at the time. So they could choose not to follow or do what the people were saying since they were the minority of a minority at the time. So all this rights and protections that women are getting, it has to come from someone, and it's not women, so it has to come from men. And you say, oh, it's the government, but still the government is run by men. The police force is majority men. So it is men that have put women on a pedestal so much that they have become gods of the modern world.
I think you make a very solid point. I agree with you. Yeah.
And even like hypergamy, if we're going to go to that, like women wouldn't let's say women wouldn't be able to do all this bullshit and believe that like a fat girl, if she saw no guys interacted with her, touched her at all, she wouldn't believe that she'd get a high class guy. It's because a high class guy touched her once, or maybe twice, or maybe it was multiple high class guys came around her, they were playing with her, they left because it was a bad night. I just slept with this fat piece of shit, or something like that. She's gonna have the idea, well, they slept with me once, so I can get this person. And more happens, these women have the idea of, oh, well, I did it once or I did it a few times, so maybe I can lock something like that down. It's because certain guys are just fucking around and they're not controlling themselves, giving these women delusions of grandeur. And they are forcing this on other people because even we'll say, the guys that we have all contributed to a shitty woman's behavior at one point. We don't want to admit it, but we technically have. We were all blue pill at one point. This woman wouldn't be like that if there wasn't a whole bunch of guys, simps and orbiters, feeding her delusion and her creating her world. Without those guys, she couldn't believe that because there'll be no evidence for her to, or no foundation for her to build her dreams from.
But hey, carry on. What do you want to say to the Warband? Because I don't want the same thing to happen like yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to the Warband right now?
What I can say is, if you have anyone that's younger than you, teach them before they make mistakes that can ruin their life. Especially if it's a woman or a boy, because I have a few younger brothers, and I'm trying to make sure they don't fuck up their lives and get into situations where they feel like it's better to not be here than actually live. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Solid advice.
All right,
bro.
carry on. That's definitely good advice. I will definitely do a live stream. Probably not tomorrow, but the day after. And I got something to get off my chest. Pretty much, I'm ready for all the smoke. So it's gonna be a good one. Thank you, Carry On, for joining, and definitely come back on in the future.
Yeah. See you.
All right, peace out, Pootie T.
Yeah, you ready to get this smoke, boy, aren't you?
You goddamn right I am. The fuck?
Well, I just see you have a foreign bride now. I just didn't expect it to come from the UK. So you're gonna fly her out?
I'm single as fuck.
Oh
MGTOW.
yeah.
England MGTOW.
Yo,
What do you have to say to the Warband? Because I gotta invite other people in.
nothing. Just thanks for having me on, fellas. I'll talk to y'all again soon.
No problem,
180.
man. I'm gonna check out your videos as well because I don't know if you post through videos or not.
Okay.
All right, peace.
Later, y'all.
All right, the four of us, okay? Because I don't want things going too crazy like it did yesterday. Yesterday it got out of control.
But
Dax
yesterday
the
was a good
dog.
stream, though.
Yesterday was a great stream, but the fact that Gray or sometimes even me wasn't able to put our word in, especially on my live stream, that was not cool. So next
Well, it's
time
easy money,
it
though.
won't be that many people. Dax the dog.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought you were just offline. I was about to yeet you.
I thought you were offline. You were breaking up there for a second, my man.
Yeah, it's StreamYard because my Wi-Fi is like amazing. So, and I heard that people has been having issues with StreamYards as well.
Dude, my Wi-Fi is dog shit, so I don't blame you there in the least.
Oh, no problem, man. What is your perspective on the current quote that I advocate when it comes to unchecked hypergamy will lead to a life of promiscuity and loneliness?
I mean, I could talk your head off forever about the girls I've been with in the past who I've observed have demonstrated, promiscuity and behavior relating to the females we see in today. Again, I could talk your head off, but yeah, we're definitely we're approaching some interesting times, man. I mean, you see it as well as I do. Like, women are becoming crazier and crazier and crazier as the days go on. And dude, I can't tell you what like dating and relationships and especially marriages are going to look like in the next coming couple of years, but it's all going to be interesting, I guess, to put it in quotations. It's
Hey, Gray, what kind of voodoo shit are you showing right now, bro?
That's what I'm working on.
Yeah, what is Gray doing?
What are you working on? What the fuck is it? What is that?
He's working on an art, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, what is that?
What else would it be?
No, I'm serious. What is that? Like,
it's like praise the sun, but the sun is a heart.
Right? What the fuck?
It's expressive.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
No.
Okay, hold up. No, I don't care about the fucking art. All right, Under Chronic is here.
Okay.
Undead Chronic is here.
Maybe you can answer to having a wife. We can schedule the Warband wedding.
Gee, why are you so obsessed with me talking to a female? That's fucking weird, bro. That's so weird.
I'm not.
But here's
I just wonder when you're gonna fly out.
Undead Chronic, what's going on, man?
I kind of dig the art though. Looks like a demon worshiping the false god of female love.
I didn't know what I was looking at. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?"
Hey, do you want you guys want a little preview? I just ordered the first 6 panels of the sideline comic, The Great Demon Pig War.
I'm down. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
I want to see the comic.
So we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off by seeing where all the Warband members are and what they're doing. So the first panel is a hooded figure with a smaller hooded figure sitting on his shoulder going into the swamp. Second one's going to be Riker getting the horses ready, right? Third one is a hammer hand. His hand is actually a hammer. He's at the forge, just going hard. And maybe outside I'll put a sign, no women allowed, or no bleeders allowed. I don't know, either one. Then we got Ribby. His horse is on his back with his legs in the air with his tongue out, just absolutely hammered. And Ribby's leaning up against it, just empty beers all around them. Him and his horse getting fucked up. Ribby told me, he's like, I want it so like when we all meet up, Ruby's so hammered, he's like carrying the horse on his back, and the horse is riding him. What else?
Chronic, I'm nowhere to be found.
Mannix being knighted in his panel, and then the 6th panel is going to be it's Chronic. You guys see who the robe people are. The big robe figure is Chronic, and it's literally going to be like a mini shaman Rishi on his shoulder in a robe too, and they're both going to be smirking. And you're going to see they're looking at a green fire, and you're just going to see like a skeletal hand on fire because they're teasing them, Yeetus.
I want to have an undead army.
The first page is going to be how Yeetus gets summoned.
What is it? You smoking a little bit too much, and then it just
no. It's going to be like the ancient. I think it's the ancient. What are they called? It's not Tao. There's an ancient Chinese civilization. Let me look it up. Actually, let me get the right name here. first Chinese dynasty. It says Han, I'm gonna nut, not the Shang. Well, I guess they were the progenitors of Shang. So the Shang dynasty, we didn't know who the fuck they were until a bunch of Chinese farmers who were like, there was a malaria outbreak, and a bunch of Chinese farmers were like, no, you gotta smoke dragon bones. So digging up all these bones, and they found these bones of these Chinese characters written on them. So what they do back in the day, this is like this is before written history. I guess it was written history, but before we knew of them, they write messages on the bones and they throw in the fire. And depending on where the bones are cracked, you get your answer from the gods. So we're gonna have like the skeletal Yeetus with all these Warband sigils carved into the bones on top of a giant. It's not a funeral pyre, but it's going to be basically a bunch of captured demons and symbioids getting burnt alive to summon the spirit of a warrior. It's going to be legit.
So, when it comes to the comic, right, it's still in the works. Like,
the kind of future tech one, right? The one that we've been working on for a while now, the nice art, that's going to be done sometime midsummer. What I'm talking about now, hopefully it's done at the start of summer, but it's only going to be 25 pages. I made a hard limit on that, and we'll just sell it by issues. But it's more dark fantasy. You know the style. We had the man. I showed the picture of Manic versus the demon pig snake. You guys seen that?
No, I don't think I've seen it personally.
Rishi, share it on your screen. I'll DM you it on Discord right now.
Okay.
Let me get it. Oh, this guy's working hard. It's more like it's weird. It's like an old school comic. If you go to like a comic book shop, you look at some of the older ones. It has a very different art style. I'll say it like that. Let's see. Let's get it. So you probably just emailed me. There it is. Let's copy this bitch. I see that. But Unchecked Hypergamy, right? What's up with that? What are you guys talking about?
So when it comes to Unchecked Hypergamy, there's somebody in my daily dose of red pills, right? Even though I don't associate with red pill per se.
No, it's all right. It's just a tagline.
Right. And this person, they want to argue with me when it comes to unchecked hypergamy will lead to a life of promiscuity and loneliness. This person, they say that, hey, she will still find men. I'm like, yeah, no shit. She will still find a man, but not a man that she wants. Not at all, whatsoever. She will settle.
It's not even that. Like, do you think she'll be happy with a man? I said this a lot before.
I was just about to say that.
I said this a lot before. I said, if a woman has had more than one man will never satisfy her ever. Because she'll always be thinking of all the men that she had. Because there's no man that's better at every single thing than all the other men. Right? Because people are different, right? Like even with girls, like there's this chick I'm talking to with huge titties, with a nice ass, except her hair is below her shoulders. There's another girl that had a nice ass, but like B cups, but she had a little pixie cut. But I'm not gonna like be with this chick and be like, I'm thinking of the girl with the pixie cut, and then be with the pixie cut girl and be like, oh man, I wish she had bigger tits. But girls do that. Here we go. Rishi, I sent you the cover. I sent it to you, Yeetus, too. Here's the cover.
But that's the big thing, right? When it comes to women, especially when they're in their late 30s and over, yeah, they'll get with one guy that they'll have to settle with. They clearly don't want that guy because men within her same age range are not going to settle with her. So they have no choice but to settle with a simp. They're younger and not doing as good or whatever until she gets bored or she gets irritated, wherever it is. And then she will go to the next guy, and then the next guy, and then the next guy, and the cycle will never end until she's unable to get any guy. So that's where my quote comes from when it comes to her life will consist of promiscuity and loneliness if she is unable to secure a husband in the beginning.
Look, from the male perspective, loneliness it hurts, kind of like benching 225 hurts. It hurts at first, but once you get used to it, putting 2 plates on each side, it's a good friend to me. It's good. It feels nice. So like at this point, I don't need a wife in the next 5 years. I don't need a wife in the next 10 years. So I have my standards. I go across the West. I see a bunch of mindless animals with gonorrhea zinc dripping out of their pussy holes. I straight up ignore them. It pisses women off. It pisses them off so much when you just ignore them. And it's not like, oh, I'm ignoring them to piss them off. I'm ignoring them because there is not a single valuable thing they can bring into my life. Now, when I'm drunk and the testosterone is pumping, I want to smash. Drunk chronic, see some value in them. Horny chronic does. But if I'm just on my way and going about my business, I don't give a fuck. These bitches mean nothing. You can compare that to the pickup roaches, where being inside low-value pussy hole is their life's mission. It's everything. It validates them. They're like bitches like that. But I gotta pop out of the stream now, guys. It's nice having me on. Showcase that fucking art. And peace.
Buniti.
Peace out.
Unity.
So they have Manic the Manic Mechanic in the comics. He's doing all that crazy gamer shit.
As gamers tend to do.
Yeah, he's doing some Kamehameha type shit on a feminist pig.
Hey, please
this
continue.
comic is gonna be great.
Please continue.
Yeah, this comic is gonna be phenomenal. Like, I can't wait until the comic is completed. I'm gonna add Vesno, if I'm saying your name right. What's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, what is your perspective on today's topic when it comes to unchecked hypergamy?
Ooh, it's wild in these streets. It starts in school and it's just gonna keep perpetuating.
Right.
Yeetus, are you familiar with the Weimar Republic?
Ooh,
What?
I have a feeling where he's getting at.
Are you familiar with the Weimar Republic? Back in
I am.
Well, it's a place in Germany. Back when World War One concluded and Germany was in shambles, that place was a den of promiscuity, drugs, and much more darker stuff, which would lead back there. So it just goes to show, if you know what I'm talking about when I say darker stuff, with all this tranny and even the unspeakable. That's where all this unchecked promiscuity leads you to. I mean, look at what's happening right now in schools with school teachers trying to influence kids.
Don't get me started on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to rant, and then eventually Susan's going to ban me.
But it's true. It's like,
it's true.
No matter what, you just like you give people an inch, they take a mile. Like all this, it may sound like us like seething, venting, whatever, but it's true. It's just like the more these women get smothered out, the less they can they get like desensitized to it, and so the more extreme they have to go to get their rocks off.
Yeah, the degeneracy ramps up.
All I'm saying is, right. All I'm saying is, if there's books that dated back to thousands of years ago saying the very similar things that we're saying now, maybe there's a reason why. Just
But the
put it
hubris
out
of
there.
man.
Just put it out there. Forget the books, forget social media, forget all that. Just women as they are. The fact that people thousands of years ago, men thousands of years ago, with the holy books, the holy scriptures, are saying the very similar things they were saying right now. Come on. I want somebody to come on and disagree.
Come on now. Come on.
What do
We
you
all
guys
know
got to
haters don't call in.
say? What do you have to say, Vincil?
How do I phrase this right? Infidelity and like promiscuity for girls is very much encouraged in public schools and colleges.
Right.
Go to my college, I had this sort of mandatory course, like the intro to college thing, had a diversity and inclusion segment. And there was a question really on there where a girl can retract consent, and it was the correct answer. It's
No,
it's getting-
a woman
it's
cannot
encouraged.
see that's the insane part, right? That is the asinine, crazy insanity part. The fact that how are you during and after you're gonna claim that things are all good, but then the next morning, now that guy doesn't want to be with you, or whatever, that guy pissed you off on something, all of a sudden it's not consent anymore. And these women know this. They know it.
Yeah, like
They know.
it's so dumb. I got that question wrong because I answered I just said no, you can't retract consent, and it literally says a girl can and should retract her consent if she feels she was violated.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. If she clearly says no, then that's one thing. Okay, cool. If she clearly says that she doesn't want to do something anymore, I agree. All right, you should stop at that moment. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. But
So if the girl
next
refuses to
day-
go home with you, should you be able to say to the bartender, "Hey, can I retract all those drinks I bought for her and have you put them on her tab?"
I love that.
No, that's misogynist.
It's insane. It's insane because it's just the fact that they're not doing this because they truly were. It wasn't a non-consent situation. It's only because that person pissed her off, or that person that she wanted to be with doesn't want to be with her. She will okay. The phrase of "there's no wrath like a woman scorned." I think that what it's called.
Hell hath
Hell
no
hath
fury.
no fury like a woman scorned.
See, I'm fucking up. It's true. It's true. She will use anything within her means to ruin your life. Okay. It's way less likely she will try to ruin your life directly, but she will do whatever she can to ruin your life indirectly, especially when it comes to your reputation, because it doesn't matter who you are as a man. Okay, you guys see the Johnny Depp situation, right?
Oh,
It doesn't
yes,
matter what he
Jesus.
does with his it doesn't matter what he does with his defamation case. Defamation.
Defecation.
Defamation.
Defamation. See,
Sorry.
I
had to
can't even
throw that
talk
in.
straight today. Fuck. Like I'm getting too lost in the sauce. Defamation case. Nothing will take away the fact that he was accused of that situation. For the rest of his life, he will be associated to a situation where it's clear. Everybody been tracking this Amber Heard situation. It's clear that
Yep.
she lied. But for the rest of his life, he will be forever associated with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but there are certain areas in the U.S. where even if you are exonerated of a certain accusation for domestic abuse, you still have to register as a sex offender.
Which
I've not heard of that.
is insane. It is insane. How you say? There were cases that I read up on where even though the guy was exonerated of those type of charges, he can't get out of being registered as a sex offender.
Right.
I've heard those type of cases. It depends on the state. It depends. I'll have to look it
But
up.
don't
again.
worry. Don't worry. A girl can do the exact same thing and she'll get like 2 years. Like,
Dude, I've had girls that I worked with in previous jobs. They will fucking grope me. They'll like rub their hands up and down my body. I guarantee you, I could go to the police and say they sexually harassed me, and they would just laugh at me. It's like I could not report that. And whereas if I did the same thing to them, I'd be sharing a cell with somebody.
Man, I heard a story of like a dude called the cops on on his girlfriend because I guess like I don't know what exactly it was, I don't remember it, but he was bleeding from her injuring him, and they tried to arrest the dude.
How in the shit does that even happen?
Gray. Gray, where you at? What do you have to say about the current topic that we're talking about right now?
Well, the thing is, like, the cops are not there to enforce any sort of impartial justice. They're there to extract resources from men for the government.
Exactly.
Pretty much. Especially the private prisons. We don't want to go too base on this social
There's no
platform
profit for the government or society in arresting a woman because you're just putting her in a cell and feeding her, and she's dead weight. You can't use her for labor. She's an expense.
No,
you put a man
you're
in prison,
lying.
you can profit.
You're lying.
No way.
You are lying. Hold up.
I just saw a short today. Hold on, I'll check. Hold on. I got my
Hold
phone
up.
on me. Hammer hands. Man, I got Odyssey, but this doesn't work well on my app. I see some of his videos still up.
Oh,
he did.
Oh no!
Oh dear God! in heaven.
No!
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that.
He spammed the shorts. He spammed those shorts, and they did not like it.
Yo!
Oh, look at you.
I'm not
F in the
surprised,
chat.
but I'm surprised. I'm not like
F
I'm
in
not
the chat.
surprised whatsoever. F in the chat for Hammerhand. I'm gonna have to spam his upcoming channel if he decides to come back on YouTube. Holy moly!
Hammer hand real quick. You can find him on Odyssey.
Jesus Christ!
If you want Hammerhand content, go over there. Go to his PayPal. Anything.
No,
My God.
That's getting an F for me, boys. Oh Jesus!
See, this is why I spam Odyssey, because just in case I get yeeted, I get some of you guys to follow me on different platforms. Oh man, it happened. So before when I Hammerhand got nuked last year, it was during a stream. Literally, in the middle of a stream, he got nuked.
I wonder. Who
Even
he pissed
Undead
off this
Chronic
time.
was like, "What the fuck?"
YT, you can suck all 7 inches of my schlang right now.
Oh man! Oh,
Do you think it was
And then
someone mass
maybe-
recorded his videos?
remember,
Because
gentlemen.
one of his more
remember,
recent shorts was basically admitting that like black women are not listening. Like they'll say that they want men's advice. They'll go out there and say, "I'm a good black woman," So please tell us. So black men, please tell us, black women, what we can do to be better for y'all. And it's like they're not
But
listening.
Fed and Fraud said the same thing.
Yeah, but one of them's a Fed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has a purpose there.
Okay, that's a good argument. Oh shit, I shouldn't be laughing about him and getting banned and stuff, but it's wow.
no heart in this fest, dude.
Jeez.
Damn. Yeah. If you guys see me spamming Hammerhand stuff, you guys know why. Okay.
Right.
I support my boy Hammerhand because he doesn't hesitate to tell the complete truth, right? Like, unlike me, when I say, hey, you shouldn't be saying these certain words or phrases or whatever, Hammerhand doesn't give a damn.
Hammerhand
That's
is
why
one of
he's
the
pretty much banned. What's up?
Hammerhand is half the reason why I've tuned into a lot of MGTOW content over the last couple of years. I'll tell you that.
He's very fun to watch. I just now started watching him, but
I got a $5 donation from Thanos Snap Feminism. Follow Hammerhand on Odyssey. Yes. If you guys still want to get videos from Hammerhand, I'm sure he probably will create another YouTube channel, but go to Odyssey to see the uncut raw version, because you thought that Hammerhand was savage on YouTube. Go to Odyssey. He even threw me off guard. I was like, holy shit.
Actually, the funny thing is, it may be due to a new YouTube exploit, because there have been other channels which have been terminated unexpectedly. And we're talking like major channels with big brands behind them and an agency. And it's some sort of like new mass flagging via bots that triggers it.
I wouldn't be surprised that's the case.
So
yeah, that as well. I ban a lot of bots on my channel. Like once I like immediately see a bot, I ban it. I ban that bot permanently, so they are not able to do some crazy shit.
Yeah, no, but it's not quite the same as a chat bot. It's basically a bot solely meant to mass report. It's like gotten some YouTubers pulled for no bloody reason recently. So I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing was used on Hammer's channel.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that's the case. Hammerhand has a lot of enemies, as do us all. And he's what was the subs at before he got banned? I forgot.
And they won't have the audacity to come after us in the Warband, like, oh, why would you show your face? Show your face, like, but on some wheat waffle shit. I'm like, all right, first off, I don't roll that way. I don't know why you're trying to see my face. That's pretty batting for the other team. But in the end, there's plenty of things in my life that I can potentially lose if I show my face. Okay, I agree with Under Chronic 1,000,000%. I'm here for the if you can't argue with the message, why are you trying to see my face? Why?
Because they want to destroy you.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like I'm not falling for that bait whatsoever. If you can't argue against my message, then that's on you. That's your prerogative. But the fact that you trying so hard to see my face tells me that you don't have a rebuttal to my ideologies. Okay, you don't have a rebuttal to my argument. You just want to attack me as a person.
Yeah,
what do you have to say, Vento?
On the hypergamy thing, yeah, it's spreading. You can't stop
Pretty
it
much
now.
things in general, in a sense where people are trying so hard to silence us, right? Men that are trying to make things somewhat traditional, but they celebrate the Jezebel behavior, the 304 behavior, like it's no big deal.
to them, it is purely like I don't even think they support their even I think they support their ideals, not really. I think they just care about winning. It's the whole no truth but power thing. So why is the enemy? They want to trounce you. So we just got to keep fighting the good fight. That's all we can do, really, because they want us permagon, and you know exactly what I mean. I refer to.
What do you have to say about that, Gray?
Well, who exactly like wants us permagon? Like, is it these powers that be with YouTube that want to stop undermining, or is it these people pushing like the more trad lifestyle? Like, who exactly are we talking about here?
I'm more talking about the
Feminists,
government
male
and
feminists.
the Antifa goons.
Talk about people that are not part of the traditional nuclear family. They are against that ideal, which is pretty much majority of YouTube and especially Susan.
No, they're just looking to create chaos, line their pockets, and then make that ride as long as they can and cash out right before everything goes straight to shit.
Yeah.
They're basically the kind of person who buys a company, overvalues the stock, sabotages the shit out of it, and then gets a golden parachute while everyone else gets fired with no compensation.
Okay, what about you, Rishi? What do you have to say about the current topic?
I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, you get to a point where you have so many subs and get so many views, people pay attention to you. And when you talk like Hammerhand or Chronic or Ribby, people are going to have problems.
But it's crazy how Ribby is able to hit 100K, but Hammerhand can't.
That's because Ribby goes for the comedy angle, and much of the messaging goes via implication. Hammerhand is far more overt with what he's saying, and he addresses the hard hitters. Ribby's just kind of taking pot shots from the side.
Right. Okay, I see what you guys are saying when it comes to that situation. This is why I say, when it comes to people joining my channel or joining the live chat, they need to use some type of code words, okay? Because I can't get to you guys when it comes to my message if somebody's like wilding out and then all of a sudden the next day I'm banned. Hammerhand, he says a lot of a lot of truth, a lot of facts. I'm not going to take that away from him. He is the most honest person on the platform of YouTube. But in time, I'm sure he knows, but in general, that's a price you pay. Eventually, they're going to try to yeet you out of YouTube.
That's why you can't have a back catalog. If you do content on YouTube, you just do a stream, delete it, and then throw it up on an Odyssey channel just to archive it.
Right. Because I know how you guys want me to be so honest, so truthful, this and that. I guarantee you right now, if I was 100% honest, I will be banned from YouTube within the next hour. Next hour.
Amen.
Okay. But I know that. Hey, YouTube is just going to completely terminate my channel. No strikes, no nothing. So that's why I'm very careful on the code words of what I say. What do you have to say, Rishi?
Well, don't you remember, Yeetus? The last guy told the truth. I think his name was Jesus something. I mean, he told the truth, and he got his ass crucified, bro. It's like people don't like to hear it.
Yeah, they want to celebrate. See, this is why I did the stream a few days ago. They want to celebrate degeneracy. They want to celebrate that stuff, but they scoff and they look in disgust when it comes to being a faithful wife or a faithful spouse.
No, I think it goes a bit further than that too. It's the same as like
Oh,
women who laugh at
hold
virgins.
up. Gray, I'm sorry. I just gotta say it. When he says when it goes a bit further, shit's gonna get real. Okay. Go ahead, Gray.
It's the same as how like women will shame other women who are virgins. They can't become virgins. They know that society values virgins, that men value virgins. But since that's something they can't get, instead they need to destroy everyone around them and change the society to suit them because they are permanently tainted. They can't undo their degeneracy. But what they can do is change it so that society celebrates them and destroys as many other non-degenerate people as possible.
Right.
Crabs in a bucket mentality.
Well, no, the problem, crabs in a bucket. That's the thing. The thing is, every crab in the bucket could try and get out of the bucket. Like, this is where these people have completely screwed themselves. Like, they're not even trying to avoid keep other crabs from getting out of the bucket. They're trying to pull passing crabs into the bucket.
Black hole degeneracy.
I can't hear you. What would you say, Vince?
I'll go
in a second. It's like a black hole of degeneracy.
Black hole degeneracy. Okay, I agree with that one.
Yeah, but this is where, like, that's the thing. It's like the one bad apple spoils the barrel. That is true because when a fruit starts to decay, it gives off a chemical that accelerates the decay in other fruit, and this is why you had in many older societies they would purge even the slightest signs of degeneracy. Because they know that if you do this acceptance and tolerance stuff and you give an environment, it grows literally like a cancer and starts strangling and converting the actual positive contributing parts of your society.
Word.
Man.
Yeah, but
bunch of dead air.
Yeah, that was.
What were we gonna say? Best now.
I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn.
Yeah, Vesna, I think
know.
that your mic's got some kind of like automation issues. Like you get quiet and then it takes a while for it to realize you're talking. So you're quiet, then you're loud, then you're quiet again.
Oh, I'm probably on it's my AirPods. They do that. It is my quality's bad. I'll just leave because I don't want to bother everybody.
No, you're good. But this is the game we play. Right now, YouTube's the biggest one in town, and honestly, it's kind of the best when you're a viewer. At least, it's the most functional out of all kind of video. Like for watching online videos. Like Odyssey is trying to compete with it, but it might be a while. But right now they're the biggest one in town and they can do pretty much anything they want.
Until you get like a super big YouTuber, we're talking like PewDiePie, Markiplier type size with like millions of subs.
Nah, that don't matter. They don't own anything.
Hold up. Hey, hold up. What's going on, Shift?
Pretty
What do you
good,
have to
man.
say about the topic that we're talking about right now?
With hypergamy going rogue, to me it's
Yep.
unfortunately, as the money supply increases, that's what happens, because here's what when basically when the government was sound, right, with their money and they were controlling it, the government had a surplus. Even in the Great Depression, they had a surplus. Well, women were, they didn't have to work, right? It was like a one-person income, and that kind of kept the family nuclear structure. But with this rapid money, this increasing, like the government's just spending out of control. Now women are forced to, they got to work in the workplace. They basically have to become men at this point. And
Wait, did
yeah.
the state coerce women to do that?
I think you're putting the cart before the horse there.
No, I'm curious though. Like, based on what you know, because you definitely know more than me when it comes to finance. Did the state coerce women to go into the workforce?
They encouraged it, and also they realized there was such a good market to untap because women are the biggest spenders. So it makes sense from a business standpoint to get women to get more involved in the workplace and get them to spend more and all that. But as an added consequence, now since we got off the gold standard, the fiscal responsibility of the government and all that, it's gone now. Just look at it. Women now are it's just really, really odd behavior. They're becoming very, very masculine to a point,
No, I'm going to disagree with you there.
Yeah. Wait.
Actually,
Before you
they are.
disagree, I want to ask you. So, when it comes to that situation, is that why the media or society in general are labeling men that walks away from society as extremists?
I mean, the media is always going to shame us for not, obeying them, listening to them like a good, like what they perceive to be a good citizen. But for me, it's like I never cared about what the media thinks. I never cared about
that's
their opinion.
fine.
Yeah.
I agree, but in the end, media, especially when they label Hammerhand, right? They had Hammerhand on big media saying that, hey, these type of people are extremists. Is that why? Because they can't extract any type of money. They can't extort money from men like they used to.
I don't think they had Hammerhand on it. I think that was some other asshole editing existing footage that didn't include Hammerhand at all.
No, they didn't.
It's faked. I've heard Hammerhand said that.
Gray, I understand what you're saying. It wasn't like directly Hammerhand, but the fact that they had his photo or the thumbnail.
Yeetus, that footage was faked. It was clipped together by someone else from a clip that didn't
But
even
that's
show
what I'm
Hammerhand
saying.
fake.
I understand that it's not Hammerhand. I understand. But the fact that they put Hammerhand, and whether they wanted to or not, on the forefront of I'll show it to you later, Gray. I'll show it to you. But
yes, if we're talking about the same thing, Hammerhand's been back and forth with the legal bits for that. Wasn't his face. It wasn't like it was his face. It wasn't his channel, but that wasn't the original broadcast.
Hammerhand is in Canada,
but
right?
I clearly just said it wasn't Hammerhand directly. It was another channel that definitely used his face. I definitely want to clip his video, right? The compilation on why men should walk away.
And I'm telling you that what you saw as a news broadcast was faked footage put up on YouTube, and the actual original broadcast did not show YouTube channels, did not show Hammerhand's face.
Regardless,
did not show that
they put it.
channel that
Regardless, they put it up. Regardless, they put it up.
Big media
And I
didn't. Someone
already
else
put
did.
Hammerhand in a bad light. Regardless, they put it up. Regardless.
Hey, but they is not big media. That's the difference.
All right, big, small, whatever it is, they're trying to paint MGTOW in a bad light.
Yeah, no
So
shit.
Well,
when
they've
it
been
comes to
doing
that
that.
situation, do you see shift when it comes to men being called extremists, but they're not contributing to societal norms?
I mean, unfortunately, I think it was just like a classic example of a good Samaritan ends as a dead Samaritan. You know, I never knowed Hammerhand personally or anything. I did watch a few clips of. I always thought he was okay dude. He was just trying to help men in his own way. I don't always agree with the monk type of thing. I'm a younger guy, so it is what it is. But I do respect his, like virtues and morality, philosophy, and stuff like that. But
Right.
unfortunately, it sucks. I don't know why they targeted him, but the media can target anyone they want and crucify
They
them too.
didn't directly target him, but when they put the videos on their screen, he was the face on the, because it was a different channel that took a clip from Hammerhand, and anybody else that were dogging women, but they put Hammerhand as the thumbnail on one of the videos.
Oh, that's brutal,
And
man.
yeah, it is literally on like big stream
Yeah.
media.
No,
fact
they
that-
didn't, Yeet. You don't get it.
Whoa, Gray, hold up. Hold up, okay? Not big stream, not small stream, whatever it is.
Some
And once
fucking
again-
YouTube rando propagated it, and it blew out of proportion. And then when Hammer and 21 Studios went to go see if they had to sue these guys, they found the original footage and was like, oh, this wasn't actually put up on Canadian television. This was some other rando editing existing Canadian broadcast footage to make it look like
Okay,
Canadian
Gray,
broadcast footage. Put
I did not know,
Hammer
I did
up,
not know
okay?
that. Okay, Gray, I did not know that. Relax.
Thank you.
Okay?
I'm trying to tell you
I
this
did
for
not know
5
that.
minutes now. I'm starting to get a
No,
little
not
annoyed.
for 5 minutes. I did not know that somebody edited the video.
I told you that 3 times and you've ignored me.
Okay, Gray, relax. No reason to get all crazy. So, Shift, when it comes to that situation, regardless, whether it's somebody editing the video or big stream media or whatever it is, I don't give a shit. The fact that they're trying to target these type of men that are walking away in general from society. How do you feel? How do you feel? But what's your perspective on that?
I mean, it is what it is. It's a dog eat dog world, man. We just have to my thing is just adapt or die. And eventually, like the West in general, what I see is like the market will keep going higher, but society is going to keep crumbling and the morality is going to get worse. But that's going to be in the West. And there's plenty of opportunities. There are plenty of other places where you could, where being a man is always accepted, better than.
Right.
Unfortunately for me, America. It's sad though because I do love the founding liberties. I love what it stands for, But now I see it for what it is. It's just a place to make money and get your money out. And honestly, the best way is just it's getting to the point where you have to just shut the fuck up and just move to a better place. It's just how it is, man. And as a guy, why deal with the punishment? It's like fuck this, man. Fuck this.
Exactly.
Like,
And
hate.
I don't give
Yeah.
I don't give 2 fucks who broadcasts the video. I don't give 2 fucks what the fuck is happening. Clearly, men within our society, men within our group that advocates for red pill, MGTOW, black pill, whatever it is, we are under attack. And it's not going to get greater anytime soon. It's not going to get good. It's solely going to get worse, right? That's why I dedicate my time to make these type of videos. Because you honestly think that society, especially they have the Ministry of Truth out there. I'm sure the chat knows about the Ministry of Truth. If you don't, go ahead and look it up. They're out there trying to dictate what's true or not. I don't give a fuck who did what. I don't give two shits. Men speaking the truth are going to be deemed as a lie.
Yeah. Didn't what is it like with Jesus? Like they made a vote and they voted for the traitor. If I'm sorry if I'm like is it and he got crucified?
I think it was the Romans were going to let one of the quote unquote criminals off, and between Jesus and a murderer, they chose the murderer.
Brutal.
So
yeah. That's why I say a good Samaritan is a dead Samaritan. You know, and I learned that from my mentor. And unfortunately, you can't convince any change without convincing the masses. And good luck. They've been asleep and in a coma for since millennia. You know, I've seen it, and market proves it over and over again. You know, people just get lied. Look at 2009. None of the bankers went to jail. It is despicable and disgusting. And that was the day when America died. You know, 2009. And you know, the money printing and all that. Look at society. Like the empire's is you know, it's breaking apart. But it's gonna take a long time. But the name of the game is to adapt or die, you know. And as a guy, you know, if you see this is a warning. You know, this is a warning. It's like, okay, you need to strategize. You need to plan. You need to, you know, get out of here. If the place is not suiting you, you have to get out of there. It's as simple as that. I mean, it sucks, but you learn to just to accept it, you know. And you have to make the hard decisions now, because or else it's just gonna get worse and worse. Soon you're not gonna be even allowed to pee standing and shit. It's gonna be really bad, man.
Hey, Shift, do you want to talk about finances tomorrow? Because I definitely plan on doing a stream tomorrow.
Sure. Why not?
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can get TFM on. Oh, what's up, Vince?
Okay. I have one question. Hey, Shift, do you think America would suffer a similar fate as like Japan or Australia?
Well, the thing about Japan, well, it was very interesting because they had a very stable economy. Like they had like a lot of banks, and they like their GDP was almost surpassing the USA almost in a way. But then the bankers of the U.S. were like, no, you can't surpass us. You have to do it this way. This is how you do business, like our way. And they kind of deceived. The central bankers started printing, and they started booming their real estate, and they had a mega boom. But unfortunately, with Japan, they did not have the world reserve currency, and that has tremendous power. Like, there's no country that can outprint the USA. Like, and there's a global currency war going on right now, and the race is to print as much money as possible and to finish last. And the US is doing that very strategically, you know. And their goal is to finish last. That's why they're raising the interest rate, but they can't raise it too much because there's so much. Let's think about it. There's so much debt in the world. How the hell the government's going to pay it off? The bankers know that no one can pay this off. So eventually, U.S. has to go zero to negative rates. They're going to go negative interest rates. In Europe, it already happened. So, but their goal is to finish last.
Do you agree that the U.S. shot themselves in the foot with the sanctions with Russia?
They kind of did, man. They kind of like Russia right now. It's like they a lot of people assume that they're gonna crumble, but the Russians have been known to live in very harsh conditions. Right? They're made for war. Like they live in Siberia, for crying out loud. They know how to live in the worst conditions known to man, and they haven't lost their homeland in over 1,000 years. Like, good luck, you know. And Putin in general, like, they're doing a very strategic way. They're like, oh, they're telling Europe, you got to pay us in rubles. We don't want your pathetic euro. Like, and the ruble was gaining strength. After I was amazed. I was like, what the hell is going on? How the hell is the ruble getting stronger? It's after the U.S. raises interest rates, you would think the currency would collapse, but it's actually got stronger. I was like, what the? That's incredible. Like, it looks like Putin was planning this in advance, but he gave plenty of warnings in the the other president after Bush, it starts with an O, and then he definitely was not he was a terrible president, terrible. All of them are terrible, honestly. Even Orange Man, I mean, he's not on our side, man. If anyone believes Team Red, Team Blue, yeah,
I will take mean tweets than what we have right now.
Oh, yeah. If I had to choose a devil, right, I would choose the Orange Man, because at least during that time, like, it was good. It was good.
He actually got shit done.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I lived through ex-Yugoslavia, and I just don't trust any politician. But I find him hilarious. Like, come on, he was just roasting. It was just funny. It was so funny. People were just getting so triggered by him, but he knew psychology very well. He wasn't a stupid idiot. He knew what he was doing. So.
Exactly. He was a businessman. He was not a politician. That's why they mainly hated him so much, because of that alone. He was a businessman.
Yeah, man. And
but
yeah. It
what did you have to say, Shift?
Say what again?
So what did you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, he just triggered a lot of people, and I personally found him hilarious. Yeah, he reminded me like of when he was in the WWF and he shaved Mr. McMahon's head. He won the bet. He was doing that. He was doing that against the world, man. He treated the world like WWE.
I know what you're talking about too, because I'm a big fan of the WWE.
Oh yeah,
yes.
The ruthless aggression, the attitude area. Yeah.
It's fake. Man. It's fake. It's fake. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Wrestling is pretty much a male soap opera.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's how it is.
Yeah. Like, they had Triple H and The Rock and Goldberg. Remember when Goldberg speared The Rock? Man.
Yeah.
You can feel the intensity.
Yeah. I like The Rock because he knows how to sell those spears or the Stone Cold Stunners.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Look up a stunner compilation of The Rock on YouTube. It's great.
But Gray, what do you have to say about the economic situation right now when it comes to
circle
the
back
US?
A bit to like the involvement of women and the dollar, because I guess the thing, economics relies on supply and demand. It's not that, there's more money, therefore like women had to work. No, women chose to work, and immediately that doubled the labor population. So when you have twice as much labor, well, now you can pay everyone less. So wages will stagnate. We're seeing the same thing with immigration. Like, we need to keep our wages down because the locals can't afford to do it. So let's use the tax dollars from the locals to subsidize all these foreigners coming in and living on government subsidized housing. And then we can pay them less or equal what we would pay our local workers, and they'll do the job. Meanwhile, our local people can't afford to live in these areas anymore. And as for women's spending, yeah, women spend out the fucking ass. But it used to be that they spent their husband's money, which they still do. And back when their husband made twice as much, yeah, they spent probably pretty close to what they would make right now, especially since they weren't working 40 hours a week, so they could go shopping 40 hours a week. But what you can't do with a woman that isn't working is charge her income tax. And you also can't control their vote by controlling their industry. Because a lot of women, they work in government subsidized jobs. They work in teaching, they work in administration, they work in companies that get kickbacks or benefits for having women. So the government controls these women's income and their net tax losses, because like, what's the point of claiming taxes on a tax paid and salary?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying when it comes to that situation. But in the end, when it comes to the women, they are joining the workforce, right? Do you believe that's the overall goal of the state, to make women work when it comes to getting double the income?
Well, no, it's not about getting double the income. The income is the exact same. It's just that now it takes two individuals working in order to pull in what one individual was capable of a couple decades back. The point is to get more from the income tax, to tax these women on what they're making. Therefore, the government gets a bigger slice of the pie, the more people are working, and it also gets to control them, because like, now women are going to be even more pro-government because they all work in government industries. So the government cutting back on government services means their jobs are getting axed.
Okay. I can agree with that one. Okay, I see what you're saying. But shit.
And meanwhile, it takes the financial power away from the men on top of that. Because now men, due to having to compete with women and foreigners for wages, they can't get paid what they actually need to survive. So men have less financial power. Women have the same, if not less, financial power, and the government gets more financial power.
So the immigrants are the cause, or one of
the immigrants are just the latest. The immigrants are just the latest tool. The government is speeding up immigration so that they don't have to pay. So that, like, the average business doesn't have to pay more wages. Like, this is straight up. Like, the local McDonald's where I am would rather bus in people from out of town than offer higher wages.
Don't forget automation.
All right, Schiff, what do you have to say about that one?
Automation's overrated.
In my honest opinion, eventually both of us were going to lose. And a lot of the bankers, they're already embracing automation, artificial intelligence, markets. You know, the companies are already using AI. It's only a matter of time. And the bankers,
automation can only replace administration. You're not going to replace most.
Over time, man. Over time.
You are not going to make some kind of machine.
Slowly. It's going to be implemented slowly, because if they do it too quickly, then it's going to be too fucking obvious. So they have to do it slowly in order for the masses to embrace it, and eventually it'll be too late. They'll be wondering what the hell happened, but then they'll be still in a deep coma. They're not going to know what happened, and that's how they get fucked. You know, that's how it is.
They're not.
Well, automation's already
like administrative work. Yeah, I can see a lot of that being automated.
But also,
a lot of the day-to-day essentials. How are you going?
Yeah, a lot of the jobs are kind of worthless, like movie theaters, all this other shit, like, you know, like
but
clerks,
that's not really
accountants. All those fucking jobs can be eliminated. All of them.
If you fired every single clerk tomorrow and deleted them,
they're not going to fire them.
If you deleted
every
single,
it's going to get implemented slowly.
You deleted every single plumber, but you're not capable of automating, society falls the fuck.
Wait, hold on, everybody stop. Everybody stop. Hold up.
Talking about that.
Hold up. Great. What's your point? I didn't hear it.
My point is that the most essential jobs for a functioning society, like the entire trades industry, you can't just automate that away. It requires too much specific individual stuff that needs to get into complex, tight areas that cannot be programmed with a single one-size-fits-all automated solution. You need a human on the ground. Even if you could make a machine, it would be so bulky and expensive that it would be completely impractical. Like, I'm sorry, until you can make something that can perform physical labor that takes up no more space or mass than a laptop, you're not going to be replacing a human.
Slowly but surely, man. Dude, the market has been telling me, the companies have been embracing it. That's all I need to know. I don't need to, like, I focus on what's going to happen next. Markets are forward-looking beasts. You know, eventually, the bankers, they don't give a fuck. They will crush peons for fun. And I look at it like that. You know, I ride on their coattails.
Would they run a loss? Because the whole point of automation is to save money, isn't it?
Eventually, here's the thing. Eventually, they're going to, you know how they control the fear factor with the markets and all that, and they crush peons? Eventually, they want to control the pleasure factor. And what's the best pleasure factor? Look at Mark Zuckerberg. He invested billions into the metaverse. You don't think that has huge implications, man.
Yeah, and he's losing billions over the metaverse.
Right now, but in the future, just watch. The virtual reality, the masses are going to fucking love it.
There's
oh
already
VR
chat. The masses already do.
Once it's implemented.
Here's my question. Do you honestly believe that Facebook is going to be the forefront of the metaverse?
What the thing is, though, as of now, like in markets, right, when companies get too big and they're like dinosaurs, they can't move as fast as like agile companies. Like eventually, when AI gets so advanced, like the small players can actually compete against the Goliaths, and they'll be amazed at how the consumer will choose the companies that offer the best customer service at the best possible price. And honestly, like what I see is like they'll be at a point where, in my honest opinion, and it may be a little bit brutal, but that's how I just see things, and I don't sugarcoat things. I think most of the masses, once virtual reality gets perfected, when it becomes like as real as this, so many of them will choose to live in a pod in their fake reality, you know, and then with universal basic income. And
okay, but society is going to fall apart if they do that, and they're not going to. They need electricity. They need computer manufacturing.
It will end with a whimper. It will just end like the movie.
It's
like
not going to get to the freaking holodeck with pods by that point. We're already seeing infrastructure break down. We're already seeing graphics cards capable of running VR.
I mean, this is the speculation at this point. I mean, eventually all things come to an end. All good things come to an end. And I don't rely on hope that America is going to come back. I don't give a fuck. I only care about my well-being and my family. That's it. Like, what do I give a fuck about, you know, this is going to fall apart? I mean, I'm not here to fight. I'm like, if you fight, if you join, then the bankers got your mind. It's like, oh, look at this sucker. Look at it. He's joining this war like a fucking cannon fodder. 90% of the masses are doomed to be cannon fodder and punching bags. Since the dawn of time, they just like Plato, allegory of the cave. They choose to live in their shadow instead of going outside and seeing the world for what it is. And God forbid if someone shows a little bit of truth, a little bit like, oh, he may have hurt my feelings a little bit, and then boom, gets fucking massacred. Man. It's just a sad state of affairs. But it has always been like this in a way. Just that social media amplifies it. And for me, it's just, it is what it is. I just choose to accept it. And I choose to just adapt or die. It's simple as that. Eventually, but surely, things that we took for granted, they will definitely, they want to make an army of financial slaves. That's their goal. They want to make an empire where like they stomp on the little peons, you know?
Okay, and they want that, but they have to actually make it feasible. Just because they want it doesn't mean it's physically possible. It's going to be is where we get back to automation. No, they can't automate every part of the industry. They can't automate away every humans. They're going to need a bunch of physical human beings going out and doing stuff because the replacements are just too bloody expensive. Is it honestly cheaper to make a robot that does manual labor or get a human to do manual labor?
It's not a binary choice. First of all, Gray, they could just pretty much use like half automation and half workers, but the fact is like the more they use automation, the less workers they truly need.
But here's the thing. The automation doesn't replace the worker, it enhances the worker. I'll use the example of the nail gun. The nail gun makes it so that even some bloody amateur pulled off the street.
Yeah, I
and
didn't say
hammers-
it replaces the view worker, though. I said it just makes it. There's just less workers in general. They don't need as many people now, so those people don't have a job. It's only the high-skilled individuals that do.
I think an example.
Why
that
would they
going
pay
forward-
high-skilled individuals to do equivalent work to a low-skill individual that they can pay less?
I don't know. Probably to operate the machinery.
What you end up happening is you get more work.
You think they're
done in
going to
less
trust
time.
a dumbass to do that?
If
I
the
don't know.
dumbass accepts the proper amount of wages, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, Gray.
This is all
a lot
the
of
speculation
liability.
at this point. I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, all we could see is you know, if it's telling you in the face, if it gives you clues. Like I was reading an article how a cardiologist in New York was implementing artificial intelligence to detect heart attacks on EKGs with 90% accuracy. Eventually, like, you know how healthcare is so expensive? Just imagine when artificial intelligence comes in and it's perfected. Healthcare is going to be amazing, man. It's going to find cures. It's going to find amazing stuff. They edit your genes and all that. People will become superhumans. The ones at the top of the top, they're probably editing their genes right now to become elite. So
And that's what CRISPR's all about.
yeah,
So.
I mean, do I want this to happen? No, but I have to just accept it. You know, it sucks, but
Yeah, but
it
there's
is
a
what it is.
difference between using AI to read EKGs and using AI and automation to build something.
Yeah. At first, here's the thing: it's primitive at this point, but it is evolving at a rapid clip. Like so, I mean, it takes a while for it to come online. I don't know when exactly, but eventually, but surely, it will reach to a level. Like it's not if, it's when. It's like when AI gains consciousness. That's my opinion, you know. And we could all speculate. It may, it may not, but I choose to just move on, you know. Eventually, like, I feel like both men and women lost, man. It's just, I mean, I don't have the fucking solution. Like, I can't tell them to go to the kitchen and shit. Like, I'm from the Balkans, man. Like, it's like, I want things to go back the way they were, but it is, but I can't, you know, and I choose to accept it. I'm like, okay. All right, I can't.
Yeah,
do
well,
anything
it's far
about
more
this.
effective to understand the limitations of what's going to happen rather than just going, oh, everything is going to get automated. No, understanding what will get automated, what will not get automated, and the approximate timeline
No, it's been
allows
happening.
you to adapt more effectively
No.
to what is coming
Well, I am
rather than
adapting.
having a reactive. You can be
look,
proactive.
I invest in the markets. Like, I fucking go into the NASDAQ. Like, I fucking put my money where my mouth is, you know? And now it's like, for example, right now, everyone and their fucking mother is scared shitless to invest. This right now, Fresh and Dog Shit interviewed George Gammon about the crash and how it's going to get worse. And to me, I'm like, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. You look at these fucking companies like Microsoft, like fucking Nvidia, AMD. They're not going to go bankrupt anytime soon. It's always, now's the time to get in and buy, boyos. To me, it's like, this is beautiful. This is fucking beautiful opportunity, but many people say it's over. It's going to crash, and it's not. It's not going to happen. It's not. It always does the opposite, and it always proves us wrong over and over again because people
And what
try
about
to
1929?
1929, what happened was it was the Federal Reserve was actually cutting rates while that euphoric boom was happening. And also, you know, margin rates was just, holy smokes. Like, they were just encouraging people to buy stocks. It was just incredible. Like, that 1929 boom was just epic. The 1920s, let's look at Jesse Livermore. Like, he was making hand over fist. And when he decided to short, that was epic. He made, like, the equivalent of how much money he made when he shorted that market was in the billions. I was like, good Lord, what a trend player. That was just an epic amount of money he made, but a lot of people lost. A lot. It was just, but imagine if you invested at like a 50%, you put a little money there, then you put a little money at 70%, and then you put a little money at 90%. I mean, Who was buying that dip? It was bankers. It was people that knew that eventually but surely the market will recover. Markets always recover, but your death is always a permanent one. Your death is a permanent crash, you know. But many people choose to be in fear mode instead of embracing opportunity, you know. And I choose to embrace opportunity. I mean, I see it over and over again. Like companies like Microsoft, Salesforce, I mean Apple, like they're TSM, AMD, Nvidia, just amazing stuff that they're doing, man. And Tesla, you know, there's a reason why he bought Twitter. You know, it's not for freedom and democracy. It's more of like probably to get more information on how the human psyche works for his Neuralink. You know, it's all connected. Like data is the new currency. You know, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. But I think the future is basically AI and tech. You know, and that's what I choose to invest. And we'll see what happens. Like we could all speculate here, but let's put our money where our mouth is and see what happens and see if Shift is full of shit, and let's see what the markets go, where they go. If it crashes, then you know I was shit. If it goes up to the fucking moon, then yeah, exactly. So
I agree, but at the moment, I didn't even shill in the stream today. That is very important because I usually shill in the beginning. If you want to support your boys who are Yeetus to the Warband, go ahead and donate to PayPal.me/Yeetus or Cash App/Yeetus. The links are on top of the chat. Or you can do the super chat or the super thanks. Fuck it. Like, I don't care what you do, but in the end, as long as you listen to these conversations that we're having today, that's all that matters. Because the message is the thing that lasts at the end of the day. What do you have to say as a rebuttal? Rishi or?
I think ultimately, like automation, as far as that right now they're probably just I think this is like the test phase for all this shit. Like with I mean, we've already seen it. Like in McDonald's, they just have like little kiosks, so people could just order there. They still have, like clerks and shit to take your order, but it's not going to replace anything. I don't think we'll probably live to see it, to be honest with you, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think that
give me
with
1
all
second.
automation-
Easter Sunday, Gray Man. Can you cover 20 miles on foot? Yes, I have, especially with 70 pounds on my back. On top of my Kevlar, my IOTB, and all that stuff. Yes, I can definitely cover 20 miles. Is it easy? No. But did I do it? Yes. Who was going to talk? Was it you, Shift?
At the end of the day, it's we have to adapt with our current situation, and it kind of does suck. Like I do feel for guys, it is what it is, but at the end of the day, we have to make the hard decisions. We have to just suck it up and do what is necessary for us to win. That's why I stand with the concept, adapt or die. There's no middle ground, metaphorically, because some guys will actually take the die concept and actually take the rope, which is just unbelievable. Can't believe I even have to say metaphorically, but and a lot of guys I see, they don't have that instinct to win, which is just wow. But I feel like they've been trained to lose, from the school system, participating with trophies and all that other stuff. Like having now women can be like NBA coaches now. I'm like, what? Wait, what? I was like, thank God I don't watch sports anymore. But when I saw that, I was like, what is going on right here? I was like, nah, this can't be real. And then other times where like the women footballers were complaining they weren't getting enough money because they weren't getting paid like the regular football, the soccer people playing, the men's side. I'm like, it's because nobody cares. You guys suck. Like a high school team on the men's side can kick your ass. Like, it's like nobody wants to watch some like fucking pathetic girl like fucking shooting a ball in the net, like, or like kicking a ball, compared to like real, like, look at the soccer players in like Europe. Tremendous skill, man. Cristiano Ronaldo, tremendous skill. Like, my goodness, man, what a beast. But women, I'm like, come on, bro. You can't be serious. Like, nobody watches. Like, or the WNBA, nobody watches that. Although I could say the NBA is really, really bad. Like, I look at LeBron, I'm like, this guy's a crybaby. I'm like, give me a break. 2011, he break down like a little bitch. Like, look at him. 4 points. He lost to the Mavericks. Jordan will never, ever lose like that. Ever. He goes in for the kill. That's what I grew up watching, man. Now it's, now that type of guys, they get thrown in jail for being too based.
Isn't it interesting too? If you ask these females who complain about the wage gap, ask them to show you a time-stamped picture of a woman's pay stub and a man's pay stub who work for the exact same company for the exact same amount of time under the exact same title and position. Show them, ask them to show you proof that that woman is being paid less than that same man. They can't do it. They cannot show you proof that the wage gap exists. They can't do it.
Yeah, man. It's like, when I was like working in healthcare, like, it sucks being the only guy there, because then they get married and have like kids, and it's like, fuck, you have to do double the work, man, because they know like you're single and shit. They fucking put shame on you, and they keep asking, oh, when you gonna? I'm like, I told them like, yo, I'm just doing my own shit. I'm busy. It's like I got my own business to worry about. Like, my business, my baby is my business. It's like, and of course they don't understand that. And honestly, what I did with my female coworkers, I just treated them like men. I'm like, no, you're going to do the work here. I walked out of the room. I'm like, look, I do my shit. You do your shit. Get out of my face, And that's how I treated them. There was no little discussions or anything.
Shift, what do you have to say to the Warband? Because I'm definitely going to be taking a quick nap. What do you have to say to the Warband right now?
The Warband, you guys are chill, and thank you for the support. I support any guys that, you can have civil discussions. I don't like drama, man. It's like, when drama does the talking, your money does the walking, And I like civil discussions, and, we could agree to disagree, but I don't wish any harm on anybody. And for the ideology, who am I to judge a man? If it works for you, then fucking I'm for it. As long as you're positive and you're positive to others, who am I to judge, right? So, because like, there's some other people that hate the other guys. Oh, you're not part of our group or whatever. I'm like, dude, I just want to talk about cool shit, share some cool shit, and at the end of the day, we could be, it's like, I miss those times where I was talking with my buddies, that's like real shit, and now it's like they're gone, and I have to accept that sometimes. So it's cool just to reminisce and having these cool streams. So, Warband, salute.
Okay, I definitely agree with what you say again. The Warband, we're definitely not here to try to cause some drama or whatever. We're just here just trying to speak the truth. And that's it pretty much when it comes to female nature and how things are down in today's society. Vincenzo.
Warband, keep doing what you're doing. It's just, this world's gonna have us a fun time. Nothing else you can do about it. Just keep going forward.
All right, Vincenzo. I agree with that as well. Dax, what do you have to say to the Warband?
Well, I'll say to the Warband, I love the Warband. especially you, Sir Yeetus, and shout out to Ribby and Chronic who are not here with us, Puniti brothers.
Pretty.
But yeah, I mean, we're definitely approaching some interesting times, and I mean, I always just I mean, me personally, I like to be a part of this discussion group because I love being able to actually speak freely and discuss these subjects that we talk about in this circle of common interest, if you will. So, hey, Yeetus, I appreciate you having me on again, as always, man. And I'll try to get in on one of your next streams if I'm not too busy, or if you'll have me on whatever's working. So yeah, man.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, again, thanks for having me on, and you get yourself a good night's rest, my man. I appreciate you.
No problem, man. You too, Puniti.
Puniti.
All right, Rishi, what do you have to say?
What do I have to say?
Yeah, about the today's topic or whatever we talked about today.
We're all rats living in this fucking hellhole of a system. All we can do is survive or live. We can't really change much of anything. All we can do really is look after us and our own.
Rishi, are you turning black pill? Oh no.
Black pill. I'm being for real. Chronic still got the right idea.
Oh, definitely. I'm just saying the fact that you're just saying these absolutes, people are gonna assume that you're black pill.
Black pill. I'm just a real pill. I'm the real pill kind of guy. I just say how it is. But yeah, it's just.
Yeah, I thought about the Joker as well, Bobby Johnson. I was like, we live in a society.
We live in a society. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. A lot of our problems are caused by lazy people. Like, here's the thing, Yeetus. Do you think, like, all women were gunning for feminism back in the day?
No.
Like, it was a small group of women. But as soon as they changed the rules, nobody did anything. The trads, people, religious people, men, women, everyone. Nobody opposed it whatsoever. Nobody wanted to do anything. Everyone was just, it is what it is, and they just went along with it.
Yep.
It's just.
What's up?
It's just, it's just. I guess it's just my perspective on things recently. As far as who should we kind of view as the enemy, or not even that, just who should we really blame for all of this? It's just,
I blame the state.
Well, yeah, but it's also the people that allow the state to do these things. And, I want to say we're different in little ways, but we correctly identify that if we do something, we'll be viewed as monsters rather than martyrs. We won't inspire anyone. We'll just serve as a cautionary tale. That's the reality of this.
Yeah, cautionary tale of if you don't take men seriously, or at least average men seriously, because You know, the fact that I don't show my face, they claim that I'm average.
Yeah, I don't really care about any of that. They can say whatever they want, but it's just, you know, I do agree. I do agree with Shift on a deep level. Is that all we can do is just live our lives right now and just have a little bit of fun while we prepare to live in the hard times.
Yeah, I understand, man. I definitely understand what you're saying. But Gray, what are your thoughts?
As final thoughts on the topic specifically, like a lot of the unchecked aspects comes with a poor understanding of what makes a woman valuable. And of course, yes, there's pressure from society, the government, weak men, and other women for all of that. So they can't be saved. They can't even be made to understand. And trying to convince them one way or the other, or get them to publicly admit something like a gotcha moment, it's a waste of bloody time and energy. Like, things are how they are, and whatever a woman thinks, does, or says is not going to change the larger aspect of it. It's not going to improve or change your life in any way.
Agreed. I definitely agree. What you're saying right now, when it comes to that type of situation, it's some things that you just can't change, but you literally have to be able to adapt and overcome these type of adversity or challenges. Okay, because if you don't, it's all on you. And if you're not able to adapt, then you're just gonna perish. But the rest of them that are unable to adapt to the female nature. This is Sir Yeetus. Hopefully you guys had a bunch of gems dropped on you today. I will be doing a live stream tomorrow as well. And we are out. Peace.
Peace out, Warband.
Bye bye.